I see your note taker.
All right, and we are live. So a warm welcome from each and everyone. My name is Phil from Let Us Talk It, Zipinar. So this is another Wednesday of knowledge sharing, and Let Us Talk It is a free knowledge sharing platform initiated by Cogent Integrated Business Solutions. So they're an IT company based in by nature, and they are based in Detroit, Michigan, and they wanted to give back to the community, and they thought of creating Let Us Talk It webinars in order to give back through free knowledge sharing, as everyone deserves to acquire free knowledge, not just information, but the rich experience of the seasoned professionals as well that accepted our invitations and are willingly wanting to present into this platform to share their knowledge as well, and as well as their rich experience. And that is for free. So hurry up and join in our webinar right now. You can join on YouTube, you can join on Facebook or LinkedIn, or you can join in Zoom. So you could interact with our speakers live. And we call this Let Us Talk It Zipinar, not webinar, because um, we initiated that, like, trying to zip in two topics in one webinar. So that's hence that is Zipinar, as it lessens the time consumed but maximizes the information being shared in just one session. All right. And we are very excited with both topics that were proposed by our guest speakers, and they wanted to present here today. And these speakers are not new speakers, they are returning guest speakers who still wanted to share their best practices and their insights into this platform. All right. So, for the first topic that we have today, is about this to discover the hidden financial leaks holding you and your business back. So, about this, like, there are unseen financial leaks draining your profits and slowing your business growth. So, this session will help you grow with your business and also learn how to empower your leadership team with financial clarity, streamline decision making, and create a business model that sustains profitability and long term impact. So, you can imagine a future where your finances work for you, fueling freedom, growth, and success at every stage. And this topic will be shared or delivered to us by the CEO of Freedom Sun, Simone Similuka Radsins, CPA, and has been a trailblazing financial expert and entrepreneur with more than 20 years of experience helping Fortune 500 companies, startups, and small business succeed. And she blends financial strategy with mindfulness to help entrepreneurs scale sustainability without the burnout. And Simone's work has been featured in NPR, Gracia, Entrepreneur, LA Weekly, and Portugal News, and more. So, without further ado, um, we have Simone for the first topic we have today.
All right, thank you. I'm excited to present, and I'm just going to share my screen. All right, thumbs up, you can see it? Yes?
Yes, we can.
Okay, excellent. All right. So, building your business wealth blueprint. We are going to go and unpack in 30 minutes to help you really figure out if there are financial leaks in your business and where they are, and how you can actually get more profit and more peace. So, I'm really excited to dive in this with you all. So I think we all can agree that profit is greater than revenue, right? Like as we are diving in, top line revenue, sales is amazing, but having great profit is where we're going for. And this is what we're going to cover today. And as we think about this, it's just important to kind of just hone in and ground ourselves on what are the realities right now that business owners and CEOs and entrepreneurs face. And it's about cash flow, and it's about time, and it's about wealth. So 43% of small business owners identify cash flow as a significant problem. And this is across all industries. The earlier stage of your business, that's definitely a big component of it. But even as you scale, cash flow tends to be an issue. Actually, that's usually when it's tighter, is when you're scaling. And nearly 49% of small business owners say their business is stable, but not growing. All right. Okay. Well, we want to be able to grow. If we're not growing, what are we doing? We want to at least have sustainable growth. And one more fact: 84% of business owners work over 40 hours a week, and about 10% report continuously being on the job, even when you're on a vacation. And so when we think about this beautiful mix of these three facts, we have to redefine the equation here. Peaceful profit is greater than profit. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. Because today I'm going to show you a roadmap on how you can actually grow your profits peacefully. And within that roadmap, I'm going to show you where most businesses leak financially and where you can just have this roadmap so you can think about it where you right now can patch things in your own business. So this training is going to be for you, especially if you have been at this point where you're making money, but cash flow and profit just don't seem to go as fast up. Your time is really being sucked down, and you always feel like there's this constant balancing act there. If you think about hard work, your profits aren't reflecting that as much as you would like. And when you think about scale, the thing to actually move you forward, it feels chaotic, it feels messy. And if you don't like looking at numbers, and if you feel that when you look at your finances, it's like alien code, then definitely this training is for you, because I'm going to just demystify a lot of this stuff. So my name's Simone. Phil mentioned it. I'm a CPA, ex-PwC, Fortune 500 consultant. I live right now in Portugal. I have, clients all around the world, which is pretty cool. And through my tenure, I've helped a lot of entrepreneurs improve their business, and it's always anchored down into the numbers. So being in the industry for quite some time, I recognize, and I'm going to teach you all this, like a very simple equation to build profit. It's not just about money management. It's obviously about sales and the systems that you have. And I'm excited to be here for you guys. And so as we just dive in, I would love for you to think about how you define success in your business. Because success, how I define it, is very different than you and probably the other CEOs and business owners in here. So I want you to think about, okay, how do you define it? Is it the bank account? Is it the car that you can buy? Is it the time that you have? Is it what's in your 401k or your pension? Or is it, being able to be at the beach, right? So what I've recognized as I've gotten older is that it's very important, obviously, the numbers. I'm an accountant. I'm going to be talking to you today about the numbers, but being holistic and being true to ourselves about what life we really want to have as the business owner is really important, because time is something that we don't get back. We can always get back more money. That's where the strategy comes in. And so, when I think about 2025, I like to think of business success as profit, as purpose, and peace. And for me, peace is about being with my family, time, and location. So just want you to think about that right now as you're putting in the time to even be here and to learn, what does that mean for you? What is success for you? And the real truth about all of this is that I see this in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-figure businesses, is a lot of times we don't really have a lot of clarity on where we want to financially go. And having a truly easy financial roadmap is one of the easiest ways for you to grow your profit peacefully. And I like to say, without the burnout. And I'm going to teach you 3 things today. The profit formula that I wish I had known in all of my accounting classes, because it's a little bit different than what we're taught. There's 2 ways to dissect that. And then the systems that you'll want in your business to scale peacefully, and what you want to be tracking to make a shift in your numbers in your business and your life. And I might not get to secret 3 because of the time. So if I have time, I'll make sure I talk about that. And more than ever, I think what we can understand is that there's a lot of people play around with this idea about financial freedom. But if we know that most business owners are working more than employees and maybe aren't even paying themselves that much and have a lot of financial stress, I think it's important to reiterate that we're looking for business financial freedom. And that's more profit with more time and more peace. I hope I've hammered this in. So let's get quickly into the peaceful profit calculator. And this is looking at, if we think about revenue, if you think about your, profit and loss statement, if we think about revenue, the first four components are how do you build revenue strategically and how you're looking at this. So the first, we look at number one, more leads, number two, more conversions, and I'll explain all of this. Number three, more touch points. Number four, higher prices. And number five, more profits. It's a very simple way. We're not getting to what marketing spend is, what operational stuff is, margins. We're not getting into any of this. But for illustrative purposes, I want you to look at the other two columns. 10% increase, what a 10% increase in each of these areas would do for your bottom line profit, and what a 25% increase would do for your bottom line profit. And if you could just look at the numbers, and if you could see the first one, a baseline, we have a profit of 150,000. If we look at the 25% increase in all five of these categories, that is significantly different, right? 538,000, almost more than half of a million. And so the idea here is not to create more and more and more. It's to look at what we're already doing and looking where we can improve. So when we think about our sales, and I'm going to get into these buckets, I like to think of them as build, manage, grow. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a second. But when we think about our sales, what kind of systems do we build to have more leads? Where do we work on our conversion from like truly, website visitor to lead to prospect to client? How then do we have, so that gets us our customers, and then we look at our close rate as well. And then how do we then have more touch points with our customers, and how do we charge higher prices? And by looking at those four components, not that you do a lot of new things, you improve and you continue to innovate, that helps you increase your revenue. And when we think about profit, that's just being able to manage costs effectively and really getting an ROI on our spend. So a very simplistic way to think about it, but what I see a lot of entrepreneurs not focused on. And so now I'm going to show you this very simple equation that actually you can apply it to your business and into your life when we think about just growing your wealth and growing your profit. And so the first component of this is build, right? So we already saw in that equation, we're focused on building strategic revenue, right? So strategic sales, making sure that we have systems. We can make all of that money in the world. We can have top line revenue. But if we don't have an effective way to manage it and manage our money, that at the end of the day, we might not have profits or our profit margins are very small. So I'm going to show you the money management tools that are actually working. And growth is very interesting, right? Because growth lies within how we lead others and how we have a business as an asset and the way that we delegate and the systems that we have, right? So growth is really you stepping more into your leadership and making sure that the organization and the systems in place are very strategic and aligned, right? So these components, and underneath that, obviously, is you yourself and the mindset that you have and the leadership and the leader that you are showing up as. So building income. I would like to always think about, how much are you leaving on the table when it comes to sales? And service-based businesses, manufacturing-based businesses, your business model is quite different. Like if you're brick and mortar manufacturing a home service, it's very different than being a service-based business, a SaaS, being a tech company, right? So there are differences into your model, into how that industry specifically works. But I have a feeling that, and put it in the chat, I would love to know, like, what type of business do you actually have? But one of the things that I've learned that no matter what business you are, if you're selling Louis Vuitton bags or if you're selling, high-end consulting services, being able to price to value, being able to price to the perceived value of your target audience and what they actually value. And that is by making sure that you are clearly communicating what problem your business is solving. And this is like really deep into the sales and marketing, but being able to truly price to value will set your business apart. I was just off the phone call with one of my clients, and we were talking. We're like, how do we raise? We've got to increase sales because this is the biggest driver to everything. Because when you can manage money, it's then how do you increase sales? And I asked him, I was like, well, when was the last time that we increased your prices? And he is, he's selling products and he's like, but he's a service provider selling the products. And he said, I'm already priced way above the competition. I was like, yes, but when was the last time that you've done it? Because his perceived value in the arena of what he's doing is already very high end, but there's still some movement there, right? So he's already pricing to value. So I just want you to ask yourself right now, is your business pricing to value? Is the perception of what you are offering aligned with actually what you believe you have? Is there opportunity to find some profit there? The next is optimizing our conversion rates. So when we think about it, we're in the online world, right? So we see things in a digital ad. That digital ad collects the lead. That lead is then nurtured through an email sequence, newsletters, all that kind of stuff. And there's so many different touch points that you will have with somebody that first becomes aware of your business until they actually come and buy a product. So within that customer journey, there are so many different points. And each of those points, you can analyze the conversion rate. So making sure that you're not leaving money on the table by first, you want to analyze the actual customer flow from prospects to client and where in those touch points you can continue to improve your conversion rates. So if you are an online business, this is pretty easy. This is looking at, website traffic, making sure that you can convert website traffic and nurture leads until they become clients. If you're manufacturing or a different type of business, it will be a little bit different. And then focusing on the LTV, the lifetime value and the annual value of your clients is very strategic. So oftentimes I don't see entrepreneurs looking at these numbers or these KPIs. And when you can think about looking at how much a client, when you bring in a client and you think about that client over the lifetime of them working with you approach sales and you approach business development in a very different way. And you can predict revenue in a different way and you can think about it in a different way. So I encourage you just to think about it for your own business. Are you looking at these metrics and are you benchmarking and always trying to improve them? And recurring revenue is one of the ways that you can do it. So one of the reasons why a lot of businesses do struggle and are on that cash flow, hamster wheel is because they don't have predictable revenue. And one of the ways that you can really find predictable revenue is to understand the customer journey and understand the pains and the problems that you're solving and create an offer that supports more recurring revenue. And then cash flow is much more predictable. And I just have some questions. So if you want to take a screenshot just to think about, but there's really four ways that you can get more, increase your sales, right? So I talked to you a little bit about strategy, but can you sell existing offers to existing clients, of your current clients that you're working with? Are there things that you haven't really tried to sell them? There's opportunity there. Can you sell existing offers to new clients? So in the matrix, this is you having a different client acquisition strategy. Could you sell new offers to existing clients? And could you sell existing offers to new clients? So usually this is in the matrix. Sorry, it's not. But really, there's just four ways. And when you think about it this way, sales becomes more streamlined, right? When you think about these little building blocks, everything flows a little bit easier. And so just these are the questions that I do want you to ponder is where can you improve that 10%? Is it the number of leads that you generate? And the number of sales calls that you have, in your close rate, or in your retention and your churn, right? So just pick one of those in these next 90 days, and you will see you'll just see an improvement. And improvement leads to more improvements and leads to momentum. Next is manage. So remember, we had build, manage, grow. And so manage is really looking at the money systems that you have. I'm not going to get into accounting, how your financial reports should look, or any of that. But your whole goal here is to say, okay, we've made this money. We know our gross profit. And what are we going to do with the leftovers, right? We've got overhead, we've got salaries, we've got marketing, right? But how do we make sure that we are truly designing our business so we can get a return on our money and to leverage the tax code? And the easiest way is using a money system. So you might have seen this in Profit First. I also teach this when I teach personal finance. But a money system essentially is knowing that every dollar that comes in, you are going to allocate towards a bucket, right? And so this looks at how profit first is set up. And so what this is like you have four different accounts you have five different accounts in profit first, which is to say when you get money from your customers and if you have cost of goods sold or if you have specific services that relate to the amount that you're getting from your customers, right? So you look at it more at your net revenue. You then allocate money based off a specific percentage to an operational account, to your owner pay account, to profit, and to taxes. And actually, when you implement this, you're using bank accounts, so you're leveraging banking, and you are moving money. So it's a very entrepreneurial way of thinking of things. A lot of accountants don't talk about this, but when you do this, you're being very proactive with your money. So you are truly moving it into the different accounts. So it's much more about cash management. Profit first in this money system is based on psychology, right? So the idea that if we store it away and we don't see it, we're being proactive, we're going to figure out how do we run our business in a different way. So this gets away, you can complement it with budgeting, but it gets away from just saying, you know what, I think our marketing budget is this much, and there's not a lot of relation with the cash coming in or the sales that are coming in. So it's a very different way to look at things. But when you implement this, you see immediate returns because you're following it. You are either cutting costs or moving money and moving expenditures into different buckets. And so it's a very beautiful way to just start thinking about it. And I have some extra lines here for owner pay because I did want to talk to you a little bit about wealth building. And the same formula that we're talking about for business, build, manage, grow, you can apply to your personal finances as well. So after you have your owner pay, leveraging, if you are a solopreneur, if you've got a small team, that you are taking full advantage of the tax code for your own wealth building. So, as an American, we have solo 401ks or 401ks, which gives us a lot of tax advantage. That's a business expense and is supporting our wealth building journey. And then also putting money into your personal expenses. So that's why you have those extra buckets there. And more profit and cash flow. So, what do you track? This is usually the big question, and this will depend on your business model and your business type. But I would say the first thing is if you are not looking at your numbers on a weekly or a month, first a weekly to get really good understanding of things. And if you're really trying to grow, to analyze what's happening in sales and actually what's happening in cash flow, and then a monthly cadence. But if your financial reports or the people that are running those reports, if you do have a team, don't make sense to them, and a lot of times they don't because of the architecture of those financial systems, that is usually what's causing some analysis paralysis. It's maybe that it's just hard. It's actually the data just doesn't make sense. So obviously what you're trying to grow, you focus on. So the client that I was working with, where we said, okay, next session, we have to really dive into the sales data, like micro into the sales data to understand what's happening. So just understand at the baseline what you're tracking and then continuing to grow. So I showed you the money systems. This is something obviously, we're looking at operations, profit, owner pay, taxes. Those are easy buckets, but you can get more detailed as you are growing your business in whatever stage you're in. This is just some other best practices is setting up banking and money systems. We talked about optimizing your accounting systems, meaning your AR, your billing, your AP, because oftentimes those areas of business, we're talking small businesses to Fortune 500 multinational, are not optimized, and there's a lot of cash flow, not necessarily profit, but cash flow that is, that is unfortunately lost or stretched out because of poor controls and poor efficiencies there. And, depending on where you are, budgeting is great. Forecasting is great, but making sure that you do follow the budget and the forecast. And if you have not been able to in departments or in your business strategically or well, thinking about first a money management system and allocations is going to help you get there faster. And outsource 95% of your accounting. I think if you're a big business, you are doing this, but small businesses tend to spend a lot of their time doing. I just like when I was preparing for this, I think the average small business spends about 10 hours just doing their taxes. And they're not a tax pro. And I don't do taxes, right? So, like, just knowing where you put your time and putting it in areas that grow your business. And now we get to grow, which is the fun part. So, a big question for you, and I like to think about this often, is like, what's the future of your business? Are you going to find somebody to manage it, to get more profit from it, to get more time from it? Are you going to automate a portion of it, which I call automated income? Are you going to license? Are you going to franchise it out? Are you going to sell it? Like, what is that plan for you? Because when you can start thinking like this, you are getting away from self-employed and getting into business owner. And so that's a question for you just to ponder is, where do you fall here? This is taken a little bit from the cash flow quadrant of Guy Kowalski, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Replaced employee with freelancer, because what happens is that oftentimes these, what we might call as entrepreneurs or business owners are just really freelancers. And stepping in from a freelancer to below to an owner operator already gets you a lot more peaceful profits. But the goal here is to get from an owner operator. An owner operator is somebody that is still doing a majority of client delivery, a majority of operations, and is the business owner or the CEO. I'm here. I'm definitely here. And the goal is to get to a business owner. And this is actually quite hard because it requires you to have a full business system. It requires you to have a full team to delegate to. It requires you to be at that different level that a lot of us strive to be, right? So where are you in this quadrant and how can you get there? And an investor is quite different. An investor puts in some money and gets a return on their asset, right? And so maybe that's the goal for you in your business. And so wherever you are, it's fine. But knowing the progression to get to and where you want to go will absolutely help you. And what happens, I've worked with many clients that have said, I want to sell my business. And we do someone's going to look at evaluation. They're going to look at the assets that you have. They're going to look at the systems that you have. They're going to look at the team that you have. And I worked with one client, and at the end of the day, he didn't have anything. We didn't have IP. We had a customer list, but he was in between a freelancer and an owner operator. And this is a 7-figure business, right? So the goal here is to architect your business so that you can get from owner operator to business owner, and at one point to an investor. So more than ever, when we think about this, it's scale, right? So we know that we need to have a structure to do that. But what's happening is that many times there are so many financial leaks because businesses are trying to scale, but they don't have the profit systems in place. And without the right systems in place, it's really hard to maximize cash flow and to build profit and to build it peacefully because things are always leaking, right? So oftentimes we think about, okay, I want to grow my business. I want to hit this in, revenue or net income, right? But to be able to do that, we already know that building sales is the big driver of that flow. But managing money is very important. To manage money effectively and to manage the business effectively, we need to have systems in place. So I probably only have like 5 more minutes left. And so I want to just explain quickly what that is. So to be successful in this, we want to grow with systems and grow with a team. So what I like to think about is in each process of your business, you can first, write it out, you delegate it, then you outsource it, and automation falls in between. And some of the easiest ones to do, yet some of the hardest ones for business owners to let go of are related to delivery, right? So that means client delivery, the operations of whatever you are doing, and the admin portion. Yet both of these, if you think about being the business owner, is not something that you would do. And so if you're thinking about, well, where can we continue to grow systems and to improve the systems that we already have, first I would start here because admin does encompass a lot and delivery in itself is operations, which is big. But for you to do all of this, it's delegation and your leadership because you know the plan. But what happens is that oftentimes, and this is just a little bit more about the technical components of what that might look like, right? So accounting systems, sales and marketing systems, and below is systems, delegation, and leadership. But what happens with what I've seen is that I don't know. It's funny when we think about making a big shift. You are where you. Somebody said this a long time ago, and it sticks with me. And I think about this whenever I'm trying to reach a new milestone in my life or in my business. Is that we are where we are with the current thinking that we have, and the current actions that we have, and the current beliefs that we have. Right. So to make a major shift in your business, you have to do something entirely different. You already probably know the things that I've even said, but if you want to make that shift, like what is it? And this is the wildest thing. And it took me, several years to really understand. And this is where the mindfulness comes in is like, what is the belief system that you're currently operating in? Because you can have all the strategy in the world, but 80% of your mindset of your success and your financial success really is driven by your mindset and the beliefs that you currently have. And that gets into the subconscious, right? The subconscious is dictating 95% of your current reality right now. So for you to think about, okay, I was inspired a bit by one of the pieces of her presentation. I'm thinking about implementing this into my business. Well, I would love to know, and I'd love you to ponder and then reach out to me definitely, is well, what do you think right now is it that you are still needing to work on? What is it in your leadership or in your belief system that you have about your business, about the ability to hit a new financial milestone, the ability to outsource or to delegate or to any of the things that I've mentioned? What is it that you might want to change to get there? But I like to think about invisible ceilings. And so, what type of invisible ceiling have you put on your business and your financial growth? And this to me was the woo of finance. And it is probably for a lot of our crowd because, I'm a CPA. I've been taught so much of just the black and the white about numbers, but your underlying beliefs about yourself and the ability to lead will drive you to the fastest and the biggest financial success. Because peaceful profit is, your systems, your money management, your sales, and your mindset. So I would love to just leave you all with one thing is what's one small step you can make in your business today for more peaceful profits. And that's it. And I'm Simone. And I would love if you have any questions at all. I know this is fast. Usually we can dive down into each of these for hours, but I did want to just give everyone an overview of the things you want to be assessing at a very high level of how to improve and have more peaceful profit in your business.
Wow, that's a very interesting and precise explanation of the the actual topic today of sharing insights in regards to profits in your business. So, with those questions, definitely, if you missed those, you better yet review this recorded session of this topic, definitely, so you can have those screenshots. I do not own any business myself yet, but this is a good save. This is something like a topic for keeps, definitely. So,
Awesome.
all right. So, anyone from the attendees who have questions, feel free to do so. Raise your hand or put it on chat. Simone will be happy to take care of that.
Yeah.
And Akash, if you have any questions or inputs, additional information as well, it's very welcome as well.
Not really questions, but it was amazing, Simone, because like I think what you highlighted was so practical for on so many levels. Because I think I started off as a freelancer. I'm somebody who's been through a journey where now I have a team. And as you said, the gradual curve of moving into a business owner is obviously a very different journey, and you get to see things on a very macro level. So I think it is eye-opening for a lot of people who don't think like this, but it's absolutely correct on the mindset. And I think I've learned so much. I want to apply it right going back to my business, first thing tomorrow morning.
Awesome. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm here to serve. So I try to make it as precise and like to the point as possible because there's so much fluff out there. Like, let's just get to, the things to focus on to really make a shift. So thank you.
Yes,
Yeah. So if I may, I'm just curious because I don't know if there are a lot of questions coming out. I just have one from from like a point of view. If today somebody's starting a new age business, or they're starting, like, if you're to go back, like, probably take up some, probably somebody like me who's a freelancer influencer, or somebody who's going into that space. What is it that you would probably recommend for them to probably keep an eye out for into emerging markets or something? How do you kind of go into going international with your business and try to build a step? Steady revenue stream for yourself?
I would say the first thing you want to do is go back to I mean, it's the basics of the foundations, right? What problem is your business solving and why are you solving it differently than anybody else? And how do you communicate that? And how do you validate to 10 people at that moment? Like, find 10 people to validate that to and have them buy into it because you know that you have a product market fit. You found 10 people to then test and to iterate. And this is anything. Like, I'm an accountant, like, I sell financial, coaching and CFO services and some products, but I do it in a very different way. And so to me, that's the basics. And then as I prepared for this, my background's finance, so I forget about financial literacy, but a lot of business owners aren't aware of, what quote unquote financial literacy is. And I thought to myself, what is that actually? Right? It's what I'm talking to you about. Like, how do you make sure that your money's working for you, that you can read a financial statement as well? But first, it's sales. You want to validate everything and sell as fast as you can and get to know your customers and just listen. We have two ears and one mouth for a reason. Let's put that to use, especially when it comes to sales. I would say that.
I think that's great advice for, I think, a lot of people, because I mean, I come from a very technical background. When we,
Mm-hmm.
lots of people who study engineering and all actually don't go through a lot of rigor on how do you build a business. When I started, I didn't even know how to make a P&L, to be honest, or make a business
Yeah.
plan. So it's where, obviously a lot of it has come from actually selling real time experience. I think it has taught more in life than actually college.
Yes. Yes, I agree. I think entrepreneurship is the best business school. I
yeah.
think I'm cut up. Yeah.
No,
Well,
no,
thank
not
you
really.
all.
There might be some
Yeah.
deterrents, but yeah, you're not cut off. Everyone's here.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. And thank you, Akash, for those additional inputs that you have. And we have a comment from YouTube. Great insights. Thank you from One Family 111. Thank you for
You're welcome.
uh putting your comments. Definitely, if you have questions, preferably, we'd be happy to welcome that. But anyhow, anything that's upcoming, you wanted to share with us, Simone? Like, are you writing a book, or you have an online seminar that people might?
Oh yeah. Well, I will be having the Business Wealth Blueprint. I'm doing a few live events here in Europe. I'm very excited for, but I'm going to be doing also an online webinar for it because I was like, oh, I want everybody to have this. So definitely check out my website, freedomsun.co, and sign up at least for the newsletter because then I will let you know about that. And I've been working on a book. I used to work in I still do, but in a very regulated industry. So I had a book about taxes and that. And again, as I said, I don't do taxes, but I know about cash flow and all this stuff. And I love that you asked me this because I've been working on this book for about 2 years and I put it down and I don't do anything with it. And I was just on a road trip coming home actually yesterday. I thought, why am I not doing this book? It's such a practical thing. It's basically written. So yes, that will be by the end of the year, but not tomorrow.
All right, then. It's always good.
Yeah,
There's something to look forward to. All right. So,
definitely.
for those who are interested or have or wanting to have more query with Simone, you can connect with her on LinkedIn. She's very responsive,
Yeah.
definitely. So the
Thank
flyer
you.
there, it has her whole name, so just put it on search on LinkedIn, and definitely you'll be able to send her a connection invite and a message. All right. So that's for the first topic that we have today. Such a wonderful topic to start with, and we would like to thank Simone for that wonderful topic. And we'll be moving to the second topic that we have prepared for this, for today's session. All right. And for second topic, we have AI powered operations. So this is about efficiency, accuracy, and growth. And about the topic is like the goal is to integrate these reliable and well built AI models into daily operations, trained on a company's data to deliver better results, and aiming to harness AI agents that can be customized for any business, streamlining operations, automating tasks, and enhancing decision making. And these models help businesses gain better outcomes, enabling smarter strategies and efficient processes. And to deliver this topic is a founder and CEO of Rebel Corp, Akash Chaturvedi. And this is a company dedicated to making advanced technology solutions accessible to businesses and has a deep passion for artificial intelligence and its transformative potential. And Akash has built a reputation as a forward-thinking leader in a tech space and has expertise that spans across AI integration, business automation, and leveraging data to drive actionable insights. And Akash's vision is to enable companies of all sizes to harness the power of AI and build smarter and more efficient business models. And without further ado, we have Sir Akash Chaturvedi for the second topic. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction, Phil. I must say, it's a pleasure to be back here, and it's always a great forum to share knowledge with. It's something that Let's Talk has been very immensely helpful in helping us put our vision across and actually guide and help more people for what we start our vision. So once again, thank you for the amazing opportunity.
Yes, definitely.
Great.
We
So
are
I'll quickly get started onto our topic and again around what we're looking at. So I'll just begin by sharing my screen to our presentation and to take you through what we have in store for you today. Great. I hope you can see my screen. If you can, please drop me a thumbs up or a quick any. It would be great if we can just align with that.
yes.
Great. So it is visible. So yes, again, so our operation here at today's topic is going to be about building AI-powered, efficient operation systems using for smarter customer engagement. So how we're going to design this, I think Phil's gone over the topic using some of the existing AI models that are available. In fact, I'll delve into a little bit of what our Rebel Agent solution is. So it's one similar model like this, but how you can create similar kind of modules and also maybe discuss a few ideas and pinpoint some more ways in how you can actually use AI today to make a really efficient operational process. I think Simone mentioned earlier about today how you look at companies and when you want to evaluate them, it's not just about customers and numbers. It's also about processes. And a very important part of that, what AI is able to help you do is actually create processes for which you traditionally require a whole bunch of team and whole bunch of people, working in your organization or needing to build that at a very large scale. So this is where it's going to play a much more easier role and how AI is going to bring that forward. So before I begin, I'll quickly start by giving a little introduction to myself. So I am Akash. I'm the founder CEO of RebelCorp.ai. So RebelCorp.ai is India's simplest all-in-one AI platform, and now even powering up the world with what we're doing. So we have 6 main business verticals in which we operate. To just give you an idea, we have been operating India's simplest all-in-one website builder platform, which is helping more and more businesses actually go online and build their websites with the help of AI for completely free. I think the last time I was on this webinar as well on the Let's Talk forum, I mentioned we took through a whole bunch of examples on how you could actually come and take your business online with the help of AI for absolutely free on our platform. We operate our Rebel Agency module when we provide AI-based services to help create AI newsletters, AI WhatsApp marketing campaigns, and different kind of things which we help our clients with in actually understanding how you can use AI and data-driven decisions to help actually get better realization towards your goals of actually whether it be increasing sales or increasing the number of orders. Additionally, we provide a CrowdPulse platform wherein we help mass digitalization with the help of templates. So CrowdPulse has been enabled actually thousands and hundred thousands of businesses with the help of standardized templates to create mass digitalization products. And one very interesting product which will be coming up soon, which I'll be going into a little deeper, is the Rebel Agent. How you can use that in your business as an AI agent, as a chatbot, as a sort of data center to help you in doing it. Additionally, you can always check out our Rebel Cop Academy, wherein we provide all of this information for free, where you can learn, come partner with us, and also work in helping more and more businesses go through it. So, without further ado, let me get on to what is today's session going to really be about. So, coming towards AI. And I think what I'll do is I would love to delve into a little background to make sure everyone understands. I think today most of us have had an understanding of what AI is and how it really works, and to a certain degree have been exposed to some level of AI. In the last year since Chat GPT has come about, I think it's become something part out of most people's daily life today, to understand that applications like OpenAI, like Gemini, Claude, DeepSeek, all these platforms which are sort of running in today are actually creating fundamentals to what will become basic core infrastructure to what we're building tomorrow. So the way I see it, AI is at a stage today, the same way the internet was probably 20 years ago, the same way search engines were probably another 15, 20 years ago. And we're at a stage where technology is going to play such a vital role, because these are going to create the fundamental blocks for us in going ahead into the future and building more and more deeper intelligence. So the main thing is why today is such an important thing and how the future has already arrived. And if you're not seeing this opportunity with whatever you're doing today in any kind of business, maybe this is where you maybe want to rethink and assess as to why is it that AI has not become such a vital part of your day in day out operations. The fact is, models like these which I mentioned earlier, like OpenAI, uh, Gemini, Claude, DeepSeek, these are more than reliable models. In fact, they're running in terms of millions of computations every day for different kind of use case in businesses. I'm sure many of us have gone on to the premium versions of ChatGPT and the various other LLMs which are available today. And why it's going to be very important is because it's going to help you in understanding that these models are going to play the fundamentals to what you can do on top of this. So I think for anybody who's used ChatGPT before will probably understand the impact it's had on running a basic operation. Now, what I would like you to do is take this thought process of what you had when you used ChatGPT for the first time, and it felt like magic. Imagine applying that to your business, and that is sort of where agents are going to come in a big way in the next few coming probably months or so, and how you can use them operationally to make the process more efficient. So what really is the role of an AI agent? So imagine we today walk into an organization, right? If you enter my office, for instance, tomorrow, there's a receptionist that sits there. And the role of the receptionist is that of an expert to a particular company. So taking the example of a receptionist could be, placed in an office environment. You can have a receptionist in any public place, like a shopping mall or some sort of different kind of interaction point. So we earlier used to interact with people to solve our queries. You would have a Q&A desk. If you remember going to a lot of public places earlier beforehand, airports, different kind of places, you would have a Q&A desk where an individual would be sitting, and that individual's role would be to answer particular questions. So let's take the example of an airport. Q&A desk at an airport has a simple role. That is to help people understand which is the right gate, which is the fastest way. If your flight is delayed, is it on time? Before we had a whole bunch of gizmos and screens that came across our airport terminals today, there used to be the role of that individual person. So what has happened today is that you can see that technology has made things more accessible. You're able to get data. If you ask a question, you'll get answers to it in a much more simpler way. But why is it that it's not been adopted into a business life cycle as yet? And that is where I think most people will see the role of an agent in the next coming months and next coming decades more and more important, because if you see today, the entire way digital marketing is also evolving is about trying to you have your best level designers, you have different kind of UI UX experts, you have performance marketing experts who are all looking towards actually getting people to the call to action faster. Like if, for instance, I'm an e-commerce brand today, and if I run and my job is to sell clothes online, my objective really as a marketer for that brand or that product is how soon can I get a person from actually seeing my product to purchasing it. The more efficient that process gets, right? And that is something that you can across not just online business, even offline businesses or businesses which are not traditionally being done in an online space. For instance, if I'm selling products like which are highly technical, like pharmaceutical products, as a probably a patient or as a doctor, I might have hundreds of questions about that product, and all that information is usually available if I go and search for it online, but it's really hard to find that information. And the fact that that data and that information already exists on a public domain, the question is we need to be able to use the agents to get a more efficient process and to make it a little more faster. So if I'm looking for a question today, if I'm looking for a certain product, if I'm looking for how to do something with your company or with your product, or how do I become a dealer, that's the kind of question you would traditionally ask a receptionist at your company, and they would guide you to the right person. So this is where you would see a lot of agents being developed for a different set of use cases within every industry. And the idea behind these agents is that they're trained on a particular data set. So ideally, all the information that revolves around your company, if I know who's the person who handles procurement, if I know who is the person to talk to for HR, if I know how do I apply for a job in your company, what are the different openings in your company, how do I use your product to probably improve can I use it for any other application? Those are the questions which most users have. And today, because we live in a digital day and age, it's kind of hard for you to not be able to answer these questions instantly. Like if your customers are awake at 4 in the morning, and coming back to what Simone says, sales being the most important thing. If your customers are at your doorstep, you do everything to make sure that you can address that question faster and actually get faster to a sale. So even on a small scale, at a micro level, that each individual does in an organization plays a very big role. And imagine applying this to large organizations, or wherein you have thousands of people who are your customers, or maybe millions of people. How do you reach out to millions of people in 1 second? And that's kind of where the AI agent comes in. So the entire thing is, in one AI agent is basically what we say is equal to or probably greater than 700 human beings. So a single agent is put on the purpose that at a single point or instance, they're able to handle and address hundreds of queries regarding your business or company at one go. And the idea is that the AI is not here to replace the humans, it's here to mitigate. So in the sense, if 80% of inquiries are very straightforward, frequently asked questions, many people try to set them up as FAQs within your organization, right, or about your product. So what happens is, to handle those 80% of FAQs, is where today people don't want to actually go and read, they don't want to go and find out. I think with the kind of advent of Instagram and reels and shorts, our human race has a much shorter attention span today than ever before in the history of mankind. So we want to get to answers faster. And the sooner we can make that happen, the more efficient the process actually becomes. And the idea is that if your AI is able to solve out 70% of inquiries and 70% of your questions, only 30% is what you require for humans. And that's what makes the humans also more efficient. And together, the whole thing is to create a more seamless ecosystem through this. So main reason why I think today most businesses will understand why is because as Simone mentioned earlier, and we've been reiterating this, that sales are the key and backbone to all businesses. So if you are too slow to respond to a potential lead, you're actually missing out, and you're losing out on customers who you can actually do. DMs, nowadays, customer, it's very expensive to have a person actually sitting on your excuse me, across your website or on a chatbot, or on your Instagram or on your WhatsApp 24/7 to actually sit and answer each and every query that you may have. So this is where, you definitely are going to need something which is going to be a little more effective in answering questions faster. And it's why, it's very important to be able to have these bots in place as well. The other thing is, when responsive inquiries are coming in, there's so many different touch points in your business. If you think about it, today I can pick up the phone and call you if you run a business. I can drop you a WhatsApp. I can send you a DM on Instagram and Facebook. I can send you an email. There are so many ways to reach a business, that what you don't want is actually losing out on any of these highly valuable leads, whether you generate them through any of your organic activity, or whether you generate them through wherever your customers reach you. So the idea is that today's digital age, your customers, you pretty much need to be available 24/7, and across every touch point in your business. And this is where I think what we propose as a solution for most businesses today, what they need to be doing is have a system which has been trained to answer each and every individual user and treat them like a individual person, right? I mean, to build up that relationship is something which you can really automate very easily today. It's super easy to again, train a data set on a particular domain knowledge, with the help of, if you have a website up and running, obviously you can study the website and you have all your data already sitting there. So you can pretty much use all the existing information and train in a much better way. At the same time, you want to be able to track and measure out all these inquiries wherever they're coming from. So that's where you need a system to track this entire thing as well. So the way I see it is, this was what my visualization is with. So this is how now we're doing it for some of our customers as well, and how they're using it. Is that this is one example that we're going to show you, that uh, till 2024, I think most of us who send a DM to a company, whatever it is, the use case, that why should I use the product, we would have been satisfied with this answer, but not anymore. I think going ahead in the future, if you get an automated DM back or automated response that says, hey, I'm a customer. If it's 12:30 or it's 4 in the morning, if I have a question saying, hey, I want to answer my question, I'm going to DM you. I'm going to ask you that question. And your response can't be, hey, give us a call sometime. I'm not going to have the time to do that. And realistically, for any business, if you're not at this stage bringing in an AI to do that job, you can see the difference between what the future needs to look like. Saying, if I ask you a question, why should I use it? You have your 5 reasons right there. The AI is able to answer it. It's able to study. It's able to go through all your presentation and pinpoint and address out all those queries. And that's sort of what a role of an AI agent is going to be doing. There's another scenario wherein you look at people, sorry, who have DMs present, and they wait. I've had to sit on the other side, wherein I've written a question saying, hey, I want to buy your product. And I've waited 8 hours to get a response because a human had to go back and write a response back. I mean, that's so slow, and that's going to really hurt your business in the long run, because people are not going to come back. Your first impression is your last impression. And at that point, if you're not available for any given reason, and you're not able to answer out this question, what you can understand is that you probably lost out that customer on a whole, irrespective of what business you're in. So very simply, coming back to how you can develop and train agents today and deploy them, is with the help of what kind of tools we're deriving at Rebel Agent. How it would work is, it's simple. You train your agent on any kind of presentation, documents, whatever it is that people are looking at and what you need, right? Basically, you can use it for any kind of PDFs, any kind of documents, whatever information and insights you'd probably need or require from your business. It's all sort of available. So that's the most structured you are with your data today. That is going to be a very important part going ahead in the future. How frequently you update your website, how frequently do you update your sales presentations. All of these things are very important to train up an agent. So while you are probably in the process, or if you're still exploring this, I think the first step, which is a really low hanging fruit for any business to do, to start making sure that you're ready to enter a digital AI age, is start digitalization big time. Right now, the best format I can tell you out of experience that works for most business owners and operators, and especially for the AIs, that it can read on XML, HTML, JSON, these kind of file formats. And if you didn't understand a word of what I said, just remember, any kind of text documents in the textual forms are amazing to train up data. So ideally, videos, these things might not be the best learning source. Try to keep everything in written data. all right, in probably English. If you have translations, make sure that you don't just rely on Google Translate. Because today, thanks to the way GPT works, right, you can actually, you don't need to train it in multiple languages, because the GPTs or whatever LLMs are existing today, they already have an understanding of how different languages work. So it should be able to address our questions on any other language as well. So what you would really need to be working on training your agent is making sure that you have if it's highly technical information, you've got that translated and you've got it properly vetted and documented, so that you can build multilingual agents as well, not just pertaining to one particular language like English. So in like India, where I operate, we have probably hundreds of languages, and each language more complex than the one before. So it takes a lot of time to train out and to get that data and to get response done. The second thing which you will be working on, which you should then get onto, is deploying it. So deployment is a very important thing. And today, with the help of like the products we are building, you're actually able to kind of build out and connect it onto your website, onto your Instagram, onto your Facebook Messenger, onto your WhatsApp. Now that should cover up almost 90% of where your customers are reaching you, because if you're spending a lot of money on Instagram and running ads and boosting your content, it probably makes sense to have somebody responding out to all those inquiries and converting those into leads as well. And the good part is you can automate this entire process. So it should be really helpful and easy for you to, once you train up your agent, connect it onto these various different platforms, make sure that you're able to address it, so that people who are reaching out to you on all these platforms, our entire objective, what we start off, is to make operations more efficient. So tomorrow, if I'm somebody who's coming and seeing your company for the first time, if I want to inquire to become a vendor with you, I'm not going to go and search through 20 pages on your website and go through each and every form. I'm simply going to go to your bot and I'm going to ask your agent a question saying, hey, how do I become a vendor now? And I could be anywhere, right? I could be sitting on Instagram. I could be just probably somebody who's dropping a WhatsApp. So the question is, your business needs to be ready for becoming more streamlined through these various methods. The last thing is, then you obviously get the complete AI agent up and running. Now, every time you'll have a customer who engages, it's getting to talk to an expert and who's been trained on a particular field. So it won't be able to answer any other questions with regards to the universe, just a domain expertise in your business. And the part after this, which comes in, which is very important, is to keep training and learning, because the more like any kind of LLMs or AI based modules, the learning is what makes your process a lot better. Most people think the job is done when you've done one, two, three. It's not really. The work is just beginning, because you're going to need to focus on things like how do you build up a much better response rate. Sometimes 8 out of 10 people asking the same question and the bot is failing to answer that question. So this is where you can actually put in the human element to go analyze this data. You have amazing amount of tools from where you can actually study this and go deeper into saying that, how do I make my AI agent more efficient? Because it's already an efficient system that you sort of build. Now you have to work on making it more efficient, and that's sort of where you can do it. And after it's become more efficient, you're using it to actually create more underlying applications, where you can integrate and make it go forward in a lot more ways. So, coming to my next point on how it can help you, there are four main use cases in how you can use AI agents in your business today. And once you look at our set of products and everything, you'll get an idea of what you might be able to do with it, and perhaps it might open your mind into, if you're doing any of these businesses, how you can actually use them to sort of improve your processes today. And I'm hoping that a lot of you who are running a business today and are struggling with these kind of things can actually use these learnings to maybe implement them. And as soon as our new product goes live, right, we will be able to actually share this information with you as well, to make it more efficient and make your entire process better as well. So looking at four main areas that we see AI, if you're in any business, how it can help you. A, for customer support. I think a lot of us have, I think it's kind of self-explanatory. I'll take it in detail, what exactly the customer support, but basically it's to provide lesser wait time for your customers to solve out a particular question that they have. The second thing that you can use a AI agent for is probably lead generation. So lead generation, I think, where forms are concerned, they're a very outdated way of looking at data, because nobody really wants to sit and fill up a form. You want a more seamless interaction. So you can actually, after people have addressed their questions, you can use the bot to actually collect information for you and qualify leads as well, and send them directly to your sales team to make it more efficient. process. The other one, which can be a very interesting use case, is booking appointments. So I think many of us have seen Calendly and also have seen different kind of tools which exist today. But imagine having an assistant, like, because when you're dealing with high ticket items, or you're probably looking at selling a flat or doing something very important, which is a very high level transaction, personalization is very important. I think a lot of people who work in real estate, especially who are realtors and brokers, they know the amount of effort that goes into booking one site visit with a client who's purchasing a very expensive house. So these are sort of people who you can see that they'll be able to use it. The last one is obviously coming to Shopify and e-commerce. So AI can be very, very useful in terms of how your customers find your products, how they add it to the carts, how they buy your products, and how more efficiently you can use it to do it. So luckily, we've been working on these demos with Shopify, and they will be able to actually be available soon to customers. So if you're doing an e-commerce today, you can use it to even if you're running an e-commerce business, get more efficient actually at it by being able to do all of these things. So I'll go in a little deep dive into each one of these to give you understanding of use cases. So if you're in this business or a similar business, you might be able to use this actually to keep improving and actually make it more efficient. So basically, a customer support AI agent is role in three simple steps I'll explain to you is answer questions about your product or services, whatever they might be. Secondly, provide all the relevant links and informations to site. And third, increase the customer satisfaction of what is happening. So basically, if I'm a customer or if I'm somebody who's just a user of your company's kind of website or any of these things, if I can get my answer faster, I'm going to be a more satisfied customer, and I'm definitely going to be more happier with the response I get. And this is where the AI can be trained into doing anything. So if you look at some of the sectors that I would like to highlight for you, you look at the kind of clientele that we end up working with for these kind of products and solutions. We look in the construction space, people who are into maybe product based businesses or pharmaceutical businesses, where you have a lot of different kind of products which are available. You have a lot of different kind of information that is already listed on public domains, so you already have a like a plethora of information which is available to you 24/7, and it's hard to find that information for large companies and corporates. I think many of us feel this, and is a huge pain point for us when we try to browse up like a Johnson or Johnson or some real big multinational company, because there's so much information. I mean, they have teams of people who are sitting and updating their website every second. So the question is, how are you able to find out this information faster? Is where you can do it, and this can work across automobile sector, consumer electronics, any kind of information wherein it is maybe highly technical or where an expert is required, or if there's a lot of information. So this is where customer support agents will really create a really efficient system for you within your organization to create an endpoint between the user and the actual destination faster. So that is one sort of use case. Lead generation takes that to a step further, wherein after probably if you've solved out a question and everything, you also have the ability to use the AI agent to actually ask users questions and collect those responses and send those out to any platform like any CRM or system that you're probably running, or generate a system to create much more high levels of automations. So examples of this, again, vary around similar industries, but you can take it a step further with the help of lead generation. For instance, cement companies, right? If I'm selling cement, and if I have, let's say I'm a contractor, I'm going up to a cement company and I want to buy cement. So my first question would be, which cement is right for me? If I can get that answer, probably I'm constructing in India in the winters. There's different kind of materials that will be more suitable for the region. If I'm able to get that answer faster, my next question will be, okay, where is my nearest dealer and how can I buy this cement? So I will ask that question to the bot and the agent back. And the agent is supposed to answer these questions and actually collect my information. So if the agent knows this is my name, this is the region I'm sitting in, how much cement do I want? If I get all those quantifiable questions and answers, and I can pass on that data to the most relevant dealer, I've created a very efficient process of ordering cement which require no human interaction at all, if you think about it. From actually identifying my product to going out and placing an order for it as well. And that's why you can create more seamless integrations once you bring in data into AI and use that to actually create operational systems which will be moving forward more efficient and leaner. So if imagine I message the company at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I say which is the right cement for me to use in a winter condition in India. Okay, how do I buy this product? It asks me how much of the product I need. It connects me to the nearest dealer as well from where I can have it ordered and picked up. I have created such which would traditionally take so much time as a process, right? Without needing to actually go out. And the best part is all of this is happening at 4 o'clock in the morning when the person who's actually making the sale is probably asleep. So that's sort of where it takes it to a whole new level. I think the other thing that we mentioned also is providing a calendar link. So this can be very, very efficient in the real estate or consultant sector, wherein if you have an assistant sitting on to answer, get your calls, get your bookings, what the idea is that you'll use it to book the meeting. The AI agent will confirm the availability and provide the link as well. So this is where it integrates with Google and Calendly and the remaining applications as well to real time check your Google Calendar, see your schedule, and probably suggest. And what happens is, while Calendly has options for a lot of people who are selling a very high end product or a service, right? You're going to try to stay away from doing standard things which are available in today's market. You're going to need to stand out. You're going to need to ask the question, hi, it's a simple difference between you telling a client to, hey, go pick a time slot that's convenient for you and do it on your own. People don't want that. Today, you'll ask them, hey, what time are you available? Are you available at 4 p.m. tomorrow or 2 p.m.? Great. If 4 p.m. works for you, I will drop your calendar link and have your calendar a block for the same. Thank you so much. And see the difference in that relationship that is being built out through a completely AI automated agent, whereas just sharing a Calendly link to somebody. So you can build a much more deeper and a better experience for anybody who's interacting with your probably business. If you're looking to book appointments through this, it will be way more efficient and also a lot more personal. So that's where it's going to be very helpful. The last one, which I'll kind of go around to show you an example, is with the Shopify online businesses, where you can apply AI agents to help in providing, again, 24/7, 365-day responses to these. And this is very, very critical because if I've bought a product, even though it might be a small product, not really expensive, few dollars here and there, I as a customer have every right to go and ask you hundreds of questions about where is my product, is this in stock, what are the different things that I can buy, which are, and you need to be ready for it. Today we're in an era where personalization is coming to a point where if you know each and every customer better, you're actually able to service them and get better sales and optimization. So users can actually get updates by entering their basic details, their order number, and get those insights. You can push in your tracking URLs to see whether the products has been shipped out. You can use it for finding products as well, saying that maybe I walk into a store. So for instance, I'll give you an example of how we were able to help a very simple sari store in India. And for those of you who are not aware what saris are traditional Indian clothing attire. And one of the stores we worked with, they had 10,000 different SKUs. So 10,000 different kind of saris. Do you know how hard is it to actually find one sari out of 10,000? It is such a time consuming process. And the reason they were failing online was because of a very simple reason I'll give you, because they used to selling as physical stores, and the brand I'm talking about, they have 10 physical outlets pan India, and they're doing really, really well in the physical stores. In fact, why they're able to do well is because they have 30 store employees per store. And that's a lot of people who are standing there to sell, one type of product. And the reason it's efficient is because of the customer journey. So somebody walks into the store, a sales rep actually goes up and asks them, hi, ma'am, how can I help you? What is it that you're looking for? And women who are buying saris, let me tell you something out of my experience in India, they know exactly what they want. And even though there are 10,000 different options in the store, they know exactly the one they're looking for. So lady would come up and say, hey, I'm looking for a red silk sari and my budget is 7,000 rupees. What are your options that you can show me? The sales rep knows the entire inventory in his head. And that's the difference of what a offline store can do. But when you bring that same experience online, you'll notice it's very hard to do that because you have to filter, you have to search, you have to sort. It's a lot of things. My simple question is, if I visit a store, I am looking for a simple red sari under 7,000 rupees. What are the options I have? So this is where the Shopify store data can go into another level with your AI agent, because it'll be able to study based on the tags and based on the backend of the products that you create. which products are under 7,000, which ones are under silk material, and which ones are red in color. So if imagine now I walk into your store, the difference could be that I will actually be able to go out and get the exact options which are available based on the conditions that I have given. And this is going to take, conversion time down to from searching for a product to a more efficient pinpointed options, and conversions can happen a lot faster. And the best part is this can happen across Instagram, across your store, whether it be through the help of the chatbot. It could be across different kind of things. So that is one of the reasons why I think it's an amazing thing to kind of explore out. And so why you should be looking at it is because A, you're going to be able to provide 24/7 support. Create the way of creation is now becoming easier and easier, especially with the help of platforms like ours when they launch. It's going to create a completely no-code environment from where training the data set is as simple as probably going and uploading files onto a Google Drive and doing that. The good part is you have again, you'll be able to create different industry scalable modules, and once that starts coming in, like how we gave you an example of a sari store, that can be applied across different kind of stores as well, departmental stores, all of those things. So you're going to have templates coming in the future which will help you in actually making it a lot more easier and effective. And the good part is they are all scalable and growth ready, because the underlying engines and the LLMs which exist, whether it be OpenAI or Claude, whatever it is that's running under the hood, right? Those are good, reliable engines today, on top of which, if you build a system for your business today, it's just going to be more scalable and ready to grow faster. And it's more importantly, it's something that will be scalable at a much larger scale as well. So yeah, that are a few of the reasons why you should look at into it. I'll be going into more detailed again once we look into actually coming across some more options. But yeah, this is sort of what I would want you to kind of just be the takeaway. And I hope I give a lot more people ideas on to start thinking along the lines of AI for your business. And hopefully, if you're looking for any sort of expertise or help, our team will be happy. We're in fact going to be launching our Rebel Agent product very soon, and do go check it out, because it'll be something that you can use for any business and actually be very useful. And using these underlying examples that I showed you, I hope I've given a lot more people ideas on what they should be thinking along the lines of.
Definitely is, and such a wonderful presentation, and very accurate as well, and very clear. So we are now opening the question and answer part for the second topic that we have today. So feel free to put on your comments, or let's see. Oh, we have a question here. Will there be an ethical concern that might arise when relying on AI driven decision making in business operations?
I think so. That's a great question. So, Timmy, to just sort of address your question, I think a big part of what people's role will become today and going ahead in the future, especially, is going to be answering one of the questions that you just asked me. That how do we make again the fact is that most of the data that we end up dealing with is already available on public domain. So, when you're looking at ethical concerns in terms of it comes out of what information are you feeding the agent. And the good part is today, the agent's like a little kid. So you have something what you call as the base prompt. So the base prompt depends on how you design it. And you can, those base prompts are basically when you design an AI system, it creates the parameters on the basis of which the machine is allowed to think. So for instance, if I go up to an AI agent today and I ask, how do I rob a bank? You'll notice that these are parameters it's not going to answer. Or how do I use this product to possibly, if I'm talking to a pharmaceutical company and I ask a question that can I use this product to poison someone? Now, those are the baseline prompts and parameters which are very critical in answering and addressing these questions. And a lot of what will go into the work in the future for most people is going to be actually making this more efficient with the help of training the data sets and data. And more the responses will keep coming, you'll be able to train it. So while there are concerns with the ethical, with the response and everything, what we need to make sure is that we curtail the environment in which the AI is being trained to think. And that will play a very pivotal role, so it doesn't respond to any of the abuses. It doesn't respond to any sort of malicious or hateful content which is coming onto the chatbot, and knows when to ignore it. And that's where the base prompt is going to be a very critical thing while setting up these systems. And I'm sure, like, going ahead in the future, we're going to keep on improving this as and when these keep coming. So great question, Timmy. I hope that addresses a little bit of the concerns you may have had.
All right. right. I hope that takes care of it. So, any other questions from the attendees? Or I'm currently checking on live right now. Uh, all right. So, we have one watching from LinkedIn. Hello, Shikina Kakoka. Okay. Let's see. Comment is not on English. All right.
Okay.
So he is a chemical engineer, so I have to translate it for shortly. So hello, Sakina. Thank you for watching live, and please don't forget to share the videos as well. So we can reach out to more people definitely, and have the knowledge spread further, and we can provide more visibility with our guest speaker. All right, thank you so much for those who are watching us live right now. Make sure to have your questions placed right now, as Akash will be happy to address those questions. And while we are waiting, if there are any additional questions or inputs, anything you'd like to announce, Sir Akash, like anything that's ongoing or upcoming, you have online seminars, new products, and all sorts, and how they can get in touch with you and Rebel Corp.
Yeah, so you can probably just, again, drop us a follow on Rebel Cop. You'll find our IDs on Instagram. I'm available on LinkedIn as well. You can see where Phyllis tagged us in the post and everything. So do feel free to reach out to us. We are going to be launching this new AI product very soon and very shortly. And for any of these businesses, just so you know, it's going to be a very simple product that's going to start at just $100 a month. So we're trying to make, again, with our vision of making technology, AI more accessible for businesses, was what we started our vision when we founded this company years ago. And I think we're still committed to this vision, because while we work with large corporates, what happens is the underlying technology is something that I believe, like how Let's Talk, it has this wonderful forum to share knowledge and to create more awareness within the world. I think the world only grows when we all learn from each other and we can do good things together. So yeah, do we would be happy to share any of you looking to collaborate. We have an amazing partner program for where we have tremendous amount of global opportunities which can come through. So yeah, that's kind of where I think I would like to close as well. Phil John, is there anything on your end that you would like to probably take us through?
Yes, we'll definitely make sure to send a connection invite on LinkedIn, Sir Akash, so you can get the glimpse of their launching of that product that they have, an AI agent. So uh, maybe you'd get some special offers for the first come first serve. So
Yes, why not?
depending.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And yeah, we have from YouTube as well. Sunny, hey, thank you so much for watching us live. This session made me rethink AI integration. So the idea that AI handles 70% while humans contribute 30% is a strong reminder that technology works best when combined with human intelligence. Definitely is. All right. Thank you so much for a wonderful comment. And yes, don't forget to as well share this recorded session. And in case for those who missed this wonderful session that we have today, the recorded one will be uploaded on the social media platform where we went live, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So you can rewatch this one. Make sure to keep those valuable informations that you have missed, and also you can get in touch with our guest speakers. I think that concludes the topics that we have for today's webinar. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today in Zoom and on live as well. It's Your time is valuable and is really appreciated as much as with the guest speakers that we have today. So Simone has to drop off as she has other matters to attend to. And we would like to send our greatest thanks to our guest speakers who have willingly accepted this offer to share and impart their knowledge and expertise and rich experience into this platform to help impact the world. So, for those who are watching, you can let us know if you wanted to be a guest speaker, or you can attend our next webinar, as we will be inviting you next Wednesday, the same time, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, to join us with the two new topics that we will be bringing into this platform. And yes, with our initiative to give back to the community through free knowledge sharing. All right. So we keep on emphasizing that this is free. Anyone can take advantage and you'll be hearing thoughts and deep insights from seasoned professionals around the globe. So don't miss this out. All right, and share it to your friends. All right, so Sir Akash, thank you so much for joining us today, and Simone as well. Thank you so much, and we'll be closing the webinar for now, and see you again next Wednesday. All right, so take care, everyone. Keep safe as always. From Let Us Talk It. Bye for now.